Your future is decided by your actions every day. And if you want to be successful, you need to understand this concept to its core. If you don't know who I am, my name is Carter Positan. I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur who has grown and scaled multiple businesses to past 6 figures in less than 3 years. And my goal here on YouTube is to be the mentor that I needed when I was 18 and getting started with everything in the business field and trying to better myself as a person. And not only the person that I needed when I was 18, but the person that I needed last year, last month, and last week, okay? The person that I needed to be yesterday. I grow every single day and I push myself to be the best version of myself every day. And along with that, comes a mentor that anybody in any part of their life can use. Because even if you're 100 steps ahead of me in business or 100 steps below, or it's your first day, or you're exactly where I am, everybody can learn from a change of perspective, and that's why I'm here, to help. Now, my primary demographic is obviously people that are starting out in the field, but I think somebody can learn from anybody at any point, and a difference in perspective might just be what you need to push to the next part. So I think there's something anybody can take away from the videos that I put here on YouTube. Today, we are talking about the concept that your future is every day. And what do I mean by that? What exactly I mean by your future is every day is your future is today. And every step you make every day is what matters, right? Every day matters so much because you will not learn a language in a day, right? And you might not learn a language for a year, 2 years, 3 years, but here's the thing, is 10 minutes each day of studying French, let's say. The first day you might not know any words. The second day you might not know any words, to be honest. The third day, okay, now you know bonjour, you know ça va, right? You know 10 words, right? Second week, you know 20, 30 words. You understand a little bit of the grammar. 2 months in, you know quite a bit of grammar. You know quite a bit of vocabulary. You don't know quite everything. You don't know the future. You don't know the past. You don't memorize all the verbs. You don't memorize all the conjugations. You don't quite have the accent down. But here's the thing, is that 10 minutes compounds. And compounding is why every day matters so much. Compounding is the secret to success. Because I might post a video on YouTube every single day for the rest of my life, and who knows? Maybe nothing happens. But even if I just get 1 subscriber every day, every video, 100 views, right? It doesn't seem like it's a lot. But over time, this compounds, it grows, right? So I like to use TikTok as an example. I make music, right? Music is still my dream to this day. And a lot of people look at it as, well, why do you keep making these music TikToks if each one gets 700 views and 100 likes and you get 2 followers? Because the thing is 2 followers, 3 followers, 4 followers. I would say on average per video, maybe 5 followers, okay? 5 followers times 365 days, okay? Do the math. 2,000 followers. That's all it is. So if we do 2 videos per day, every day on TikTok, awesome. 3,500 followers, give or take. And on top of that, we're getting a few hundred likes a video. So 100 likes and maybe 600 views, right? You might be thinking, well, 600 views a video is nothing. But it's the compounding effect, right? 600 views in total is nothing. You're right. But 2 videos a day, okay? So 1,200 views times 365. All of a sudden, wow. I just got 500,000 views in a year. Because the compounding effect matters. It doesn't matter if each video I post gets 1 person go and listen to my music, because at the end of the year, I have a few hundred people listening to my music. It's the compounding that matters. Every day matters so much. And until you understand this, you will not be successful. I love this concept of everyday matters. And I think one of my favorite concepts that I ever learned about, and I've learned about it in a lot of things. One of my favorite is Robert Greene, the author of 48 Laws of Power, how most people know him, also has The Laws of Mastery. And that is one of my favorite books of all time because it outlines what it takes for people to win. And I love that book so much because it made me have a realization a few years ago. That realization is most people suck when they started stuff, but it's the constant consistency that grows people into who they are today. And it doesn't matter how novice you are at something, how bad you are when you start, because you can push to the next level, and you will if you stick with it. The problem is you can become proficient in pretty much anything in 20 hours. You know what the hardest part about that is most people don't understand what 20 hours is. That's an hour a day, pretty much a month playing guitar. At least 5 days a week. You know what I mean? Like most people don't put an hour a day into anything. So 20 hours is not a lot of time, but you can become extremely proficient in guitar in 20 hours. But mastery comes at 10,000 hours. And that is the most comforting thing in the world to me, is that I can do anything I want in 10,000 hours. Doesn't matter. If I decide I'm done with all my businesses, I'm done with everything I want to do, all I want to do is become a professional surfer. It might take 10 years. And it probably will, but here's the thing is 10 hours a day, if I put in 10 hours a day for 3 years straight, I can become the best in the world at anything. And I know that, and I truly believe and understand that. And that is what makes me different and separates me and the 1% from the rest of the world, is the understanding that you can do whatever you want if you truly put your mind to it, because all it takes is 10,000 hours. Now, obviously, it's a lot of time. But here, you can even speed that up. If you want to work a full-time job doing 16 hours a day, sure, you might have to give a lot up. You might have to sacrifice a lot. You might have to move back in with your parents. But eventually, the compounding effect will do whatever it takes. And people think that they're not capable of things because they don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to put in the time. Your future is every day, and the choices you make to do every day are what are going to determine where you end up at the end of the line. So, with all of that being said, what exactly do you need to be doing today with habits in order to predict your future, right? What do you need to do to predict your outcome and predict where you're going to be? It's the habits every day that you choose to do that are going to push you to the next level. And for me, what does that look like? That looks like reading every day. That looks like studying Italian every day. That looks like studying Spanish every day. That looks like posting 2 TikToks a day. That looks like posting a YouTube video a week on my finance, a vlog a week on my regular. It looks like posting X amount of listings for my vintage. It looks like reaching out to X amount of customers per week. It looks like writing X amount of songs, usually a song a day. It looks like recording 2 songs a day. It looks like doing this and this and this and practicing guitar for 30 minutes and practicing piano for 30 minutes, because it's habits every day, right? So you need to interlock this into your head. Even just little things that most people don't think about, right? Stretching every day is going to make me live longer and my life better than yours in the long term, because even that 10 minutes every single day of stretching is going to make my body last longer. Working out every day is a habit, right? And it's not just about the fact that I want to look good and I want to be big. It's the fact that doing that every day is going to make my quality of life better, right? Going on runs is going to make my quality of life better. It's going to level up my HRV. It's going to make my body function better, which is going to make me work harder, longer, faster, better than you. It's what allows me, right? My habits for sleep every day. People think, well, 5 hours of sleep last night, I'll get 8 tomorrow, or get 10 tomorrow, I'll make up for it. That's not how this works, right? So the things that you do every day predict your future. If you drink every day, you're not going to be the best, right? For me, if I want to be the best, I'm going to put in the time that I need to put in order to do the things that I want to do. And that looks like habits. And that looks like actually putting in the work and doing the things that I say I'm doing. Not skipping days, not making up excuses for why today doesn't work. It's putting in the work every single day. Your future is every day. And until you understand this concept to its core, you are not going to do anything great. So if you want to be mediocre, amazing, awesome. That's for you. That is 100% okay. I don't want to be mediocre. And I assume if you're watching this video, you're probably not someone who wants to be mediocre either. If you want to do great things, if you want to be successful in business, if you want to be a successful person, something that people look upon, understand that your future is now. The future is now. Because every single time you decide to skip one thing for one day, and I'm guilty of it, I understand, things do get in the way eventually, but I'm saying, it's like sleep, right? Andrew Huberman is one of my favorite people that I love listening to because he knows what he's talking about. And one of the things that I've learned over the time as an entrepreneur, trying to get things right, is that sleep is more important than anything, because if you start your day right with a proper amount of sleep and your circadian rhythm is locked in to where you're sleeping the same amount of time every night, you're sleeping in the same thing, your body is locked in, right? So he says, yeah, awesome. Sleep is the most important thing you can do. It is the most beneficial thing you can do. But at the end of the day, 80% is good enough, which means once a week, twice a week, right? It's okay to kind of mess up your sleep, to go and do things that matter to you and live your life. I'm not saying that I learned the hard way that doing it every single day forever is not good, right? But it's the 80% rule works for so much that 80% of your business is for 20% of your clients. It works the same way in your life, right? Is 20% of the work is responsible for 80% of the things. So you don't need to be perfect every day. But at least 80% of the time, you got to be doing what you need to be doing, right? So if you skip a day because you want to go see your family, or you want to go see your girlfriend, you want to plan something special, or you really want to go do something that you've been waiting to do, awesome. I'm not going to study Italian if I'm spending my whole next 3 days in the mountains. But 80% of the time I'm going to. And that's what's going to set me apart. I'm not telling you need to be perfect. What I'm telling you is every day matters more than you understand and more than you see. And if you are going to skip the little things because, oh, well, it's not that significant to do today, then you are going to fail in the long term. Because the compounding is what matters. Every day you skip posting that video, every day you skip reading, every day you skip learning the instrument is another day that somebody else is getting ahead of you. And I'm not saying that everything needs to be done in order to rise above the competition, to be better than everyone else in the field. What I am saying, though, is you will never be great. You will always be mediocre unless you are willing to understand that your future is now, and the habits and the things you do every day are going to decide where you end up. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with is the fact that every day that you're doing these things, you are going to tell yourself, I'm not seeing any improvement. Nothing is changing. And honestly, you're not going to see the improvement until you look back 100 days down the line and go, holy shit. Look at all the progress I've made, right? So I need to make it abundantly clear that if you're not seeing progress, you're doing the right thing still, but you're not meant to see progress every day. In the gym, you can go for a year, and if you're bulked up, you might not see anything. But then year 2, all of a sudden, you're massive, right? And it's always like a sudden change once it happens, right? I remember there was a time in which I had been studying Italian every single day for 30 minutes a day to an hour a day. I had a tutor, I did all this, and I was like, well, I'm not really improving. I feel like I'm kind of bullshitting. I don't know how to speak Italian. And then all of a sudden it clicks. I'm like, oh, no, I can actually speak with people in Italian. And the reason I understood that was because I was in Spain, and someone was speaking Spanish to me, and I understood, and I responded in Italian, like this, without thinking about it, cognitively. And this was like 6 months into learning Italian, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, everything I was doing mattered. And same thing with music, same thing with business, is you will not see improvement every day. But if you do the same things every day, at the end of a year, at the end of a month, at the end of a decade, oh my God, the places you will be with doing and practicing every day. So once again, please just understand to your core, today is your future. Your future is every day, and the choices you make on a daily basis are what are going to predict where you end up and who you are. Once again, my name is Carter Positan, and my goals here are to be the mentor I needed when I was 18. And if you got any benefit from this video, if you resonated with the things that I'm saying, I would love for you guys to subscribe, leave a like. And I want to build a community here where people are able to comfort each other and help people out no matter what stage of life you're on. And that doesn't even have to be with a business. It can be with just trying to better yourself each day. I'm not a self-help guru. I'm not even a finance guru. I just want great things for myself, and I like to see people succeed. So if you benefit from this at all, I would love to hear from it in the comment section, and I would love if you guys continue to support. And anyways, I will see you guys next week.